Welcome to the Dallas Makerspace Applied Bio Committee. Tonight we're going to be making ginger beer. So we have all of our ingredients here so you can take a look. We've got some spring water here. It's been filtered for us, but it's not reverse osmosis. This is what you get at the store for $1. We have a lemon. We're going to use half of this lemon. We have some fresh ginger root. We're going to use 1 1/4 ounce of this. We have 1 3/4 cup of cane sugar. And we have some ale yeast. You can also use bread yeast if you can't find this, but I got it from Homebrew headquarters. What we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to make ginger beer. So all these ingredients combined, and altogether this only costs us about $5.68. It's going to make a gallon of ginger beer. It will be a living thing. We're going to actually use yeast in it, so it's not going to be like this stuff that you get that's carbonated from the store. It's going to have B vitamins. It's going to be delicious. Let's get started. 1.3. I guess that'd be close enough, right? You can't overdo it. Let's just call it that. Alright. Now it told us that we wanted to chop it up coarse, and I talked to the guy at the shop. Ginger is done. Now the fun part about the lemon was it said just chop up about half of it. It didn't really say slice, so we're just gonna slice the lemon. Shield your eyes. Acid incoming.
There you go.
Sugar. And let's see, what else do we need here? I think that's all the ingredients to save for the yeast. Okay, pot time. Got our pot. Nice pot. Clean pot. Finesse! That's it. That's all the ingredients, aside from the sugar, that's going to go into this thing. It really is that easy. That should be my slogan. Yes. Oh. Smell that.
Amazing already. Yep. That is.
Smell it!
Smell-o-vision. Go!
Oh! Thank you. Until it's invented. That's the best we can do. Alright then. So all we got to do now is I have to measure out, I believe it's a few quarts of water. Let's see here. 3 to 4 quarts of water. So we actually do have a limit. I guess if we did for 3 quarts, it'd be stronger.
Yes.
Well, let's go for 4 quarts.
You want a nice mild soda?
I could dig it. I think it'd be fine. Because, I mean, we got this much sugar.
Yeah.
I would go for 4 quarts. So what we need to do is
Get your
measuring
quarts.
cups.
Measuring cups.
Now this would be by pint. So we can do this. Or since, it's 3 or 4, is that eyeballing it? Let's just go ahead and use these big jars, because these jars are about a quart. So it's about 3 to 4 of these. Jars are wonderful things. Do you know how cheap these are at Walmart? They're so awesome. Even the auto committee guys want to have our kind of stuff. They come in here and they steal my jar so they can put oil in it. We don't use those for our things afterwards, though. Ginger soda. Of course, we'll strain it out. But yeah, there you go. That's it. That's as simple as it can be. All right, so now we've got
sugar.
Sprinkle that bad stuff in there. Do you reckon we should stir it?
Probably.
Yeah, don't let it cake. Caking is not allowed. Caking is a lie.
The cake is alive. The cake is alive. The cake is alive.
Okay,
Sorry, apparatus.
I'll go retrieve one of those, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and set this for, let's do it for 18 minutes because it needs to cool anyway, and I reckon it will still be hot in the meantime. All we're trying to do right now, I reckon, is to extract the flavors. So let's go ahead and put that in there. And here we have warm water. Now yeast is a living thing, so it needs to have a nice warm bath after coming out of this freeze-dried, sterile environment. So we're going to do what we call prepping the yeast. Straightforward. Going to cut a little bit in the bag. Now the recipe that we have calls for 1/8 of a teaspoon, which I happen to have that measurement here in a 1/4 teaspoon. There we are. So we're just going to try and eyeball it because it seems to be the way this recipe is anyway. Pour about half of this in there. So let's be very, very careful. That ought to do it. And that's just for a gallon. So I bought this for like $1.50, this packet. To make a gallon, that is how much we're using. So it's very cost effective. So all we're going to do is just scatter this in here and make sure though, because I've already messed up tonight, so I'm going to take a look at it. Let me see. Just because I'm always paranoid. Okay. Yep. So all we got to do is let this sit for a few minutes, and by the time that we're done with this, the other stuff ought to be done outside. So you'll be seeing that in a moment. So here we go. Now you want to do it?
So, okay.
Ready? Okay. So it is now not quite cool enough, but it's close enough. We're going to pour it into this, and once we get it poured in, then we'll add our yeast, and then we will shake it vigorously, and then we will begin to bottle. That is how awesome ginger beer is. I don't have to wait a couple weeks. I get to enjoy it this week. Here we go. There's all your solids. There's a little bit left in here. That'll be just fine. And there's actually just a little bit in here. Let's see what happens. It's gonna taste good. All right. Let's go ahead and take those solids out. Leave them back in here for now. I wonder what the ginger is like now. Ooh. Take a little bit of that and suck on it.
Right.
Kind of like candy.
Mm.
If that's what our ginger beer tastes like, I think we've succeeded. All right. So, let's see. It's 115 right now, so we'll give it a little bit longer. And then we'll add our yeast, which has had plenty of time to activate. It's around, it's not quite at body temperature anymore, but it's still around 70, which is what it's supposed to be at. So we don't want to get the yeast too hot so it dies, but we want it to be warm enough so that it'll start to metabolize our sugars that we've added in here right away. There we go. All right. So this has now reached a temperature where it is safe to add our yeast. I'm using a body temperature here as a gauge. It's using my body temperature, so let's go ahead and pour it in. And we'll shake it a little bit vigorously first. Where did I put that cap for it? Here it is. Cap it if you would. Hold my yeast.
Yeast.
Thank you. Our yeast water. Make sure every last drop goes in there. So now we'll shake this up. And then we're supposed to let it sit cap for about 15 minutes. So let's do that again. Make sure I got it on here nice. Oop.
I don't think it tastes.
Okay. Nothing's coming out again, right? I felt something hit my shoe. That's probably from the bottom. Oh, okay. Huh, interesting. All right. Well, we've shook it up, so now we're going to wait 15 minutes, and then we will start to bottle it. Then we're ready to go. 15 minutes is up. Yay! It's time to bottle this stuff. So what we decided to do is we're going to experiment. Safe, right? We've got a little piece of ginger in the bottom of this, and I'm going to put another piece of ginger. We've cut some slivers. Can't see them, but they're there. Two of these bottles have pieces of real live ginger in the bottom of them. The other two are just going to be controls. So here we go. And I'm probably going to leave a little bit of headspace because unlike regular beer that will ferment first in a big keg and then we pour it in little bottles, this is going to do all of its fermentation in this bottle. So if the pressure is too much, these are bale tops, so hopefully they will release the pressure. But if not, it's going to be really, really messy. And put that down. And your Floyd Ginger Ale, December 1st, 2013. Could have happened sooner. So now, all that's left is cleanup. So, Let's see, let's put them in here with all of our other beers. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, it's been 2 days. That was quick, wasn't it? And here we have some of our ginger ale. So let's take a look and see if it fizzes.
Andrew, you opening it?
I am opening it. And I don't see any fizz, but let's see what happens. Doesn't look like there's any fizz either, but let's just taste it and see what's happened. Maybe the slightest amount, but it's mostly flat. But you know, we did kind of not do this the right way. We were supposed to have heated up 2 quarts and then add quarts to it so it was cooler faster, because if you remember from last time you saw us, folks, we had that little measuring cup full of yeast that we were trying to incubate all that time. So maybe what we should do, this batch may still be salvaged. I think I'm going to add a little bit of ale yeast to it, and maybe try it in a couple of days. But in the meantime, though, it's delicious ginger tea. So, we failed, but failure is not a bad thing in science. We have learned something. So, ginger ale, tea, until tomorrow. We'll see you.